The real deal. What's up guys, and welcome to The Real Deal Airsoft. I'm Jake, and in this episode you're going to learn exactly how to build a DSG, a very reliable one at that. And we're going to be using an SHS or Rocket DSG, dual sector gear, and these are available on www.therealdealairsoft.com. Pick one up, we'll get it shipped out to you the same day. You heard? And yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into the parts list. Alright guys, I'm going to show you everything you're going to need to do to build a very reliable DSG dual sector gear build. And the parts included is going to be this 30K Starway motor with Neo magnets, really torquey motor, love it. We're going to go with G&G 18:1 ratio gear set, coupled with an SHS dual sector gear. These are available on www.therealdealairsoft.com. We get them shipped out to you same day, so order them while they're still in stock. And as well, we're going to be using this trigger, which we short stroked. For the electronics, we're going to be using a Perron V2 optical. We already have the sticker set for that. A Rocket Airsoft, which is basically SHS OEM'd. M160 spring, which are also available on the website, and as well as an Insidious Armory guide plug spacer, all available on the website. A Rocket Swiss cheese AOE corrected piston. All these parts are available on the website, so go check it out while they're still in stock. And yeah, so we're going to talk about how to build a reliable DSG. If you guys follow the channel, you already know that I covered shimming in part 1 of Inside the Gearbox on the channel. If you didn't see the video, go check it out. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to shim the gears, and that's the first thing you have to do always when doing a new install. So if you don't know how to shim the gears, check that video. So once we're done with shimming the gears, we're going to move into modifying certain parts inside the gearbox which are necessary for DSG. Which parts do you have to modify inside the gearbox to make it compatible or ready for DSG? And the real answer is, number 1, your Tappet Plate spring. We're going to pull a second coil, which is basically shortening the spring, increasing the tension. This way you could keep up with the high cycle rate and high feeding. Every time the sector gear cycles, your Tappet Plate's being pulled back, and the spring is pulling it forward to feed the next round. So you have to modify this or else it won't feed correctly. You'll have weird compression issues, as well as the Tappet Plate. We're gonna have to trim this down so that the Tappet Plate releases fully. And the way we're gonna be modifying it is so that it releases before the last tooth releases the piston, meaning that the Tappet Plate gets released and feeds the next round before the piston is released. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna be filing this thing down. We're gonna see, we're gonna measure it, but roughly around 11 to 12 millimeters works. But as we go in the gearbox, you're going to see exactly what to do, and you're going to know perfectly how to do it. So don't worry about it. All right, boys, just got done shimming the bevel gear with the motor. I just want to show you what the perfect shimming sounds like. You want to hear the clicking between the bevel gear and the pinion, so you'll hear that now. At least I hope you'll hear it. That's the gear, the teeth like hitting each other. And if you couldn't even hear that click at all and it was so tight, you have to remove a shim from the top and bring it to the bottom. That's all that means. It means that the teeth were too close to the bevel. All right, before I move on, I always measure with my calipers the amount of shims I have in case when I'm putting the spring back in this non-quick change spring gearbox and the shims go flying, I'll know exactly like what's up. So I'm just gonna measure with the caliper how many shims was required for the top and the bottom. So 0.6 shims for the bottom. I'm gonna write that down. And we're gonna fill it in for each so that we will always know. That's the real deal. I got another quick tip for you guys.
No freaking way.
If you ever have an issue with screws and stuff like that and they're falling, rub your screwdriver on your motor and that will magnetize your screwdriver. All right, the gears have been shimmed. All right, boys, I'm about to show you the magic.
Abracadabra?
About DSG, the real secrets that no one knows. All right, the Tappet Plate modification. This is what you gotta be looking at, and the whole idea is to have the Tappet Plate released and go forward before the piston gets released. So right now with the current setup, it would still be holding the Tappet Plate, right? And the piston is already released, but you see how it's still being held? That's not good. That means that nothing happened. You just blew air out the barrel. Congrats, you're the best. You could give the best blow jobs. Wow. All right, so what we have to do is this. All right, we're reset. Boom, we're pulling it back. Alright. And you see how that angle of engagement is so important right there? That mod right there. So that it never scrapes that tooth. But whatever. Alright, so we're pulling it back, we're pulling it back. And we want to pay attention to the last tooth. When the last tooth is about to release. See, right here, I would cut the plate. Right here, the tappet plate needs to be released. The piston's about to be set off. It's on the last tooth, about the 1130 position. And what we need to cut, basically, we need to cut off right here. Making that line on the grease just enough so that now, if this material wasn't here, this would shoot forward, loading the BB, creating that air seal before the piston gets released. So that's the secret to modifying the tappet plate. You heard? I'm just saying, angle of engagement is so important in Airsoft, and that's what we specialize in on all the products on the realdealairsoft.com. So we're going to modify this tappet plate as well as the tappet plate spring. It's pretty simple enough. We just need to pull the coil down. That's about it. And then we'll be ready for the install. Alright guys, post modification, as you can see, it's a lot shorter. We got it down to 13 mils. For some reason, 13's been working great on all my builds, so 13 millimeters. And we're going to analyze what's going on right now. So let's see. Right, still holding on. Tappet plate still being pulled back. Still being pulled back. Boom, released. It's feeding, and this is at the 1130 position. It's on the last tooth. Alright, because it's still pulling it back. And it releases. Alright, tappet plate releases before piston. We're good. Alright boys, hopefully the light doesn't mess with the sensors, but we're going to test the DSG for the first time. Put it in the semi. I got to plug it into a battery. That would definitely help. Wow, the customer got shook. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up the build. Now you know exactly how to build a DSG. And like I said before guys, if you want to grab one of these, head over to the website. We'll get it shipped out to you ASAP, www.therealdealairsoft.com. And for all you guys that haven't been part of the fam, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated on the latest Airsoft tech, tips, and how-tos. Until next time, see you on the field. The real deal.